This week in Gran Turismo Daily Race A, I have a meeting with Barry R. Daily Race B, we go 3 wide, which is a little bit scary. And in Daily Race C, there are cars absolutely everywhere as we go 4 wide. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gran Turismo Weekly Race Guide here in 2024. A very interesting week this week, should we say that. If you've seen the short already, you know what's coming up. But first up, Daily Race A, we're in the Subaru Impreza rally car at Sardegna Windmills. Now, DR updates are off, thankfully. They need to be off. There are 6 laps here. Good start with a false start check, dirt, tyres, and bot is on. However, the interesting part there, no fuel and no tyre wear. I do want to look into that a little bit more as to why it's time 0 and everything else is times 1, but even so, it is what it is. Now, for some of you, you're not going to like rallying at all. It's not something that takes your fancy. Well, there's some timestamps there to jump to Daily Race B or Daily Race C. But as I always do with this video, I go through each daily race, I experience it, and then give you the experience in a nutshell as to whether you would like to do it or not when you get home from work or whatever it may be. Now, you can also see there the key stats now in the background. So this is new, obviously, for the weekly race guide, rather than just have it down below in a little banner. I've done this for you. So a track has been used once. I mean, it's hardly been used, this track. 13th of June, 2022. You're just going to have to watch out for the jumps and remember to short shift this car as well. That's it in terms of the summary for Daily Race A, but it's about time we jump into it. So let's jump into it now and let's have a look at exactly what happens. And what happens is what you probably expected. Right, here we are then at the start of the race. This was a later one than I planned because the server was having issues this morning. But here we are. So I'm going to put traction control on 1. There's no necessity to do this. Hold the handbrake. The handbrake is better. I always say this. And get ready for those red lights to go out. And here we go. Second gear may be better on the start here as well. Something I've not tried, but potentially you may want to try as we head towards turn 1. So it's going to get sketchy. Of course it is. So many cars so close together as we go through these turns. There's going to be barrier hits everywhere. There's the first one as we go into the right-hander. So I'm just trying to stay out the way here. Take the tighter lines to avoid some of the carnage. Somebody else has been in the barrier there. So we are gaining positions here as we go into this long left-hander. Look at everybody sliding away. Now, interestingly, with rallying in Gran Turismo, sliding isn't actually the best way. You want to be going forward, not going sideways, as we head towards the mini jump and then this sharp left-hander. As we go into here then, we slow down the car. Unfortunately, someone sent it down the inside. Just forces us well off into the barrier there, and we get damage, and yeah, it's a bit frustrating really. So we're back at the back of the pack, and we've got a long way to go here. The Spanish driver taking a penalty here. We're going to try around the outside of them. We do get it done just there. It's Baron, hello to you. Nice to see you again as we go on the inside of Baron as we head towards lap number 2. In we go then. We're going to have a good fight with this Belgium driver actually. Pappy Few up ahead as we go into the right-hander. Looking to try and get on the inside here. Try and use that momentum. It is all about momentum as we go into the left-hander. Now, some of you have been asking about tyre temperatures. Because I've got them on my screen down that bottom left-hand side. That's only for the recording. I can't see it as I race. It is something I'm investigating at the moment in how impactful are tyre temperatures in this game. And there will be a detailed video on it in the future as I'm doing thorough testing at the moment. So just keep an eye out for it. Anyway, back into the action there. Evlo there, or Ivhop, sorry, does get a penalty, 1.5 second penalty. And we take that position. And we're very close to the Belgian driver. Been going very close to the driver. Very hard to overtake here, in fact. As we head towards the complex section of this circuit where it gets really tight. And I send it down the inside here. I got a bit scared initially, but actually, that's a well-nailed overtake. You see my reaction there in the left-hand side. You can also see Lady Tidge there dealing with some washing, so apologies for that one. But it's early morning. Yeah, Lady Tidge got her stuff to do. I'm doing my weekly race guide that I normally do. YouTube Mondays, as I always call it, as we go into the right-hander then. We're just going to clip the barrier on the inside here. Unfortunately, that gives me a 1.5 second penalty, which I think is very harsh in the grand scheme of it. In rallying, those kind of fences would be destructible. So yeah, I think that's pretty unfair. Now we do hit the barrier there and give ourselves some damage on the exit as well. It's not going the greatest here right now as we see Pappy go on the outside. So we're going to have another fight with the Belgium driver. We really are indeed. So let's advance further on. Lap number 4. Into the right-hander we go. Then this is the start of the lap if you don't recognize it. And then in towards the left there, defending that inside very nicely indeed. So I'm trying to maintain the speed around the outside. Fourth gear arguably better for this corner, I discovered after, as I did a bit more time trialing because I was so far off the pace. However, we get a really good exit on the Belgian driver, get down the inside here, and as we head towards this left, we do get the position nailed then as we go into the left-hander. We slow it down nicely, looking to get out as quick as we can. Slight tap on the rear, nothing major there, that's just racing in the grand scheme of it. Remember, in Rallycross, I know this isn't Rallycross, but Rallycross contact is allowed. But in any other motorsports, contact isn't allowed. It's not written in the rules that contact is prohibited. And there we go then. So we advance to the final lap then, and we've got a penalty overhead for, I think that's a check flag. Apologies if it's not. We got on the inside of them, literally so close. But even so, we get the job done. Ghosting was very scary there. I wasn't sure whether they're going to come back or not, but here they go. We've got the Citroen livery on a Subaru. Is that sacrilege? I think it is, isn't it? As we go into the left-hander, and we're going to defend now by keeping nice and tight here through these corners. We actually make it so tight here. If you look at that rearview mirror, they tried to go on the inside there, but there's a fence. So unfortunately, they crash into the barrier. We're going to fast forward towards the end then. We come home in P7, but look at the top there. The Finnish drivers all at the top. 3.5 out of 5 I'm giving this. Start type's good. Car Tyre Choice is a bit fun, to be honest. Race length, I think, is okay for this type of racing. And good racing, I put a 0.5 because it is quite hard to overtake. As we always say in rallying, if you want to win, hire a Finn. And they were doing very well in that race. So in towards turn 1, we've already chucked it into the right here. We're trying to stay as close to the fence on the right-hand side. That marshal there is your turn-in marker and lift-off marker for the left-hander. I also drop a gear down to 5th now as I do this. Marshal's very obvious there. So now I want to go left. Okay, so I'm as close to the barrier there. Go left. I'm letting the car roll a little bit here, trying to get on throttle to keep as far left as possible. I need to maintain a good line for this right-hander. Now, once again, we're using marshals. To do this in real rallying as well. Marshals are literally like pinpoints where you want to look at. So on the right side there, the marshals, I'm lifting now and I'm going to chuck it in. I want to get a little bit of rotation here, get on the inside out. So I said about not sliding, but you want to slide a little bit for this corner to really just get it in, and then you can start going forward. And notice the speed maintained there. That's really nice. Now, I've lifted off before this tree on the right. It's a very prominent tree, okay? And I really want to get turning towards the left-hand side. So as you do this, I've lifted off, I'm trying to turn, and once I've got that rotation, I'm then going to accelerate to try and maintain that little bit of rotation, but as long as it's not too rotated. So here we go, into 4th gear. Notice I'm trying to now go forward. I stopped the over rotation. I'm keeping it in 4th gear now. I'm full throttle towards the left-hand side. The car's now going forward. Really good momentum picked up there. And what we do, short shift to 5th gear, over towards the right-hand side. We want to stay as far right as possible now, as close to the fence as possible. And that GoPro sign there is your marker to brake. You need to brake before this. There's a little jump here, but you need to open this corner up to get a really nice line. And there's a long acceleration period, so you really want to get this right. So stick towards the right-hand side. I've already hit the brakes, which obviously means the weight's on the front nose here. And I go towards the left-hand side, and I start to accelerate immediately. That's to stop the over-rotation. I want to keep going forward. You've got to be careful of that bank on the exit, though. You can hit the rear of that, as you saw in the race, and it can give you just damage and all sorts. In towards this right you go. You can lift off a little bit for this one. You can do it flat. The top times are definitely going to be doing it flat. But just be careful of exit here with the barrier. And you notice there, you get very close to bales. Now, the very last bales on the right-hand side, they are your brake marker for this left-hander. You're coming in here so quick. Now, you drop to 3rd gear, and you actually want to turn in quite early, earlier than you think, because what will happen is the fence will just open up. Initially, it looks like you're going into the fence, but it'll open up, and then you keep it very nice and tight. So as I turn into here, notice I'm turning. Looks like I'm going to hit it, but no, it opens up. Over towards the right side, just lifting off here, trying to keep it going straight here, over towards the left-hand side, let the car roll a little bit, then start to accelerate as quick as we can on exit. Remember to short shift now as we continue towards the line here, over towards the left-hand side where you go, keeping it tight. And you want to stay in the middle of the road here. Don't go too tight on the inside there. The bigger the jump there on the right-hand side, so the more left you are, the less of a jump. That's a 1:14.7. I'm not the fastest in rallying, so that's not the quickest time that you can get. You can go much faster than that. Now, I've already jumped to daily race bitty here, which you can see is Group 3 at Suzuka. Quite a common combo in the grand scheme of it. 5 laps here, rolling start, racing medium tyres, and brake balance is the only thing that's changeable. What is interesting, obviously, with the new physics, the new update, the Lamborghini Huracan is looking like the dominant car. Now, like we did with Daily Race A, we've got some Daily Race B key stats there. So the track has been used 17 times, 6 of those are with this track and car combos for Group 3. Its 3rd most used combo, and now go up that, and it was last used on the 6th of May, this track. Issues, turn 1 braking, weight transfer, of course. We've got some understeering there, and you do have to be careful. Let's jump into this race then. Let's have a look at exactly what happens, and you get a lap guide straight after it. Right, who has bit what then? We've got the Huracan GT3 in pole. We've got Renault RS01 in P2 there. I'm in the Lamborghini, as I said. And if you're not subscribed already, do please subscribe. We're on our journey to 60k. We're very close now. And if you are enjoying this video as well, do give it a like. It tells me you enjoy this content. And I'll keep doing more of it. Right, in towards turn 1 we go. I said be careful here. That's just due to the weight transfer. The Lamborghini not as problematic as it used to be with this new physics update and the setup changes that have happened in that car, which is good to see. Now, can they apply those setup changes to all the other cars so that we can have some real good choices here in Group 3? Anyway, the exit is here. Very complicated, very hard to overtake in terms of getting round people, and we're just going to have to sit behind for now. Then I was looking for ways round. It's not really possible. As I say, it's complicated to get round anybody there as we continue on through here. Oh, the Porsche gets some oversteer there. Max Power gets on the grass, but manages to bring it back. That is an amazing recovery there from Max Power as we go into Tidgney 1. You do have to be careful of Tidgney 1, if I'm brutally honest with you. That curb can chuck the car off. Again, it's just weight transfer issues in the Lamborghini. We're going to head towards Spoon. Then the Porsche's just made a move on Hodgson. Then up ahead as we go into the left-hander. Oh, very close to Hodgson. Very, very close indeed as we go into the second part of Spoon then. Continue on. Oh, hello. We've got a Porsche off there. Oh, you can see my reaction there. Actually, that was very funny. I do my live reactions as shorts. If you want to see that, make sure you subscribe and do check out the shorts we do on the channel. I'm going to back out and go for a move here on Hodgson, mainly because Hodgson's a part of TCR. And on top of that as well, we can actually, carry on racing and going up ahead. Max Power, though, look at this. Goes for the 3 wide, heading down here then as we come in to the braking zone. And we're going to go around the outside of Hodgson then into there. It was very close indeed. Now, Max Power apologized for this and went over towards the left-hand side. I didn't feel like Max Power had to apologize. You can see that right here. I'm just going to put my hand up to say that. I know I did that because of editing. I didn't feel that was necessary. In towards Tidgney 1 we go, and someone's just got off the circuit. That's Marto in the Porsche as we go into Tidgney 2. We get a brilliant run here on Death Proof up ahead, down the inside. Lamborghini versus Lamborghini as we head towards the hairpin. In we go. Have to do a slight lift there to avoid understeering into that Lamborghini, and we go quite deep here. We're going to go on the exit of the hairpin. Then we've just got a nose in there. They give me just enough space there. Beautiful racing with the German driver here as we continue on out of there. And we've just got this run, this insane run through the corner, and it looks like we're going to be getting this position. There we go, up into P11. We go in the middle of the circuit just to say, nope, you're not going for this again. It's my position. I'm having it. As we go into the second part then. The server was having issues in this race, and you may have noticed that with the Porsche then. Some cars were moving a little bit. Hodgson got disconnected during it as well. As we continue on towards the chicane here then, slowing the car down. Oh, the AMG's off up ahead. Sean off in that car. We go around the outside of them then, and we regain, not regain a position, we take that position. But we're back behind P9 here in the Boss Porsche, and making the way towards that left-hand side then. Hopefully going to get the run towards turn 1. But going on the outside of turn 1, very scary. I didn't really know this Porsche driver that much, but I decided to back out of it to try and go on the inside. However, they read it perfectly. That is a sublime defensive move. It really was. Really well played to Handress as we continue on out of there. I was hoping to get on the inside and just go for it, but no, you had other ideas. You stopped me perfectly. It's just amazing. Amazing defensive driving. It really was. But in the S's, once again, you're really just single file going through here. There's only one way to go around it. Potentially you can go on the outside here, but it compromises the left-hander coming up. So it's just swings and roundabouts. It's once you pass here, you can then start to think about where you're going to overtake. Now, we've got a run on Handress here then. So I sort of start showing my nose towards the outside. I was hoping to go defensive there, but they don't. They really aren't going for any of my baits here at the moment as we continue through Tidgney 1 and head towards Tidgney 2. We slow it down nicely. In we go. We get a massive run out that corner, though. We really do. We get just... It's just an amazing amount of grip as we head towards the hairpin. Once again, we're side by side with a Lamborghini earlier. This time it's a Porsche as we go into here and as we go through here. Keeping it a bit tighter this time. Keeping my nose there much more alongside this time. And we get a brilliant run out that corner. Up into P9 we go then twice around the outside at the hairpin. I mean, it's not normally an overtaking spot in terms of going around the outside, but hey, I'll take it. I'm going to go defensive here again because I can see the Porsche heading towards that inside then. As we go into the left-hander of Spoon there, we sort of just keep our car on that inside to stop them going for the move. Max Power falls through there in my rearview mirror. What we're going to do is head to the final lap now where we catch up to Shelty in that Beetle, the TCR Beetle up ahead. There's going to be big changes to TCR this week. I'm off again this week, so I did a lot of updates in my last week off. Got another week off. Doing a lot more updates to TCR, so do keep an eye out for those. And the 50k special is coming, folks, I promise you. I'm actually going to visit the venue this week as well. So in towards Spoon we go. Shelty goes a bit deep into there. And you see that, just that little lag of network. That's not Shelty's fault. I think the servers were just having issues this morning as we continue on out of there. Still in P9, and we didn't really get a move done on Shelty. So all said and done, P9 there. You can have some good racing here. You've just seen that in this race. I think the race level's pretty good as well, to be honest with you. So it got a score of 4.5 in the end. Literally, just it's a really good race. The only thing I would say it's a race I could be doing with a tiny bit longer, and that's where the 0.5 comes from. But everything else is spot on, in my opinion. Now, we're going to head towards turn 1 in Lamborghini. Did just see the brake bounce down in the bottom right-hand side. If you didn't, just rewind it 5 seconds and you'll see it right there. Turn number 1, the runoff there, the exit part there, the tarmac, that is your brake marker. You can see I've got on the brakes right now, and I'm going to trail brake into this corner. I don't want to go full on all the time here because the weight will just shift, but I'm going to go on the brakes and release them very quickly. Notice there, I'm now going to just calm the braking down, let the car bring its speed down naturally. Start to accelerate quite early because the weight's all over the rear wheels when you do accelerate. It grips quite quickly. Dab the brakes as we go into here, and it's all about controlling the car through the S's, okay? Dab the brakes where you need to. Just roll if you're struggling with the brakes. But this corner here, this is where you need to think about braking. So the start of the curve there is on my brake marker. I'm braking a bit early here. I like to keep a nice tight line when I'm running quali laps, just because it gives me a nice run for the left-hander. So that's what I aim to do here. So I dab the brakes. I normally drop a gear as well. I don't think I'm going to do that here in the Lambo. Oh no, I do indeed do it. And then I go back up to third gear. Over towards the right side as quick as you can. Lift a little bit. Try and clip the curb if you can. And notice I'm trying to get on the throttle very quickly. It's easy to understeer there. You saw that in the race with max power. I tried to just stop the understeer by lifting a little bit. Head towards Tidgney 1 then. Be careful of the curb here. But on the right-hand side, I use the pole there. Okay, you can use the 50 board if you want to try and get as close to that. But the pole on the right-hand side is my brake marker. I dab the brakes. I chuck it in. I'm always trying to average around 100 miles an hour through Tidgney 1. If I go below it, I know it's a bit slow. I notice there, 100 mile an hour, spot on. On the left-hand side then for Tidgney 2, we've got a marshal's tent. Literally as it hits the edge of your screen is when you're going to hit the brakes here. Now, you saw I got very good runs out of this corner in the race, and it's because I'm using that brake marker, turning in, using the inside curb as well, just making sure the car gets straight very quickly, bouncing the throttle on the corner as well. Notice there, bouncing the throttle, and off I go. Really, really, really would advise you get on the throttle initially, just to help the rear wheels grip with the extra weight over them. So as we come into the hairpin then, the end of the curve there is your brake marker. Brake in a straight line for this corner, okay? Don't try and turn on at 100% brakes because it won't work. So brake in a straight line. If you do go head towards the inside and run a bit tight, it is what it is. It's a hairpin at the end of the day. You need to get round. So we start to release the brakes now as we want to turn. We get on the throttle very early here. First gear, again, settling the weight over the wheels with 50% throttle and then accelerating to a full 100% there in order to get the maximum speed out the corner. It's all about balancing the weight in this car. Even though it's much better now, you still have to do that. I'm going to head towards Spoon then, and I use this runoff here. Now, I'm braking before it in the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini seems very quick in a straight line, so I'm braking before this. If you're using different cars, you may get closer to this, but this is always my marker for Spoon, okay? It's a really nice marker. I highly advise you get used to using this every single time in every single class of car. We come in here, third gear, we trail brake, and then release it. We come back across. Now, you have to be off the curb before the end of it. If you're remotely close to that, you're going to go off and go spinning, okay? It's very slippy after that moment. So I'm always dabbing the brakes and trying to turn in before the end of that curb here at Spoon. You can see that right there. You can see the car's getting a bit of rotation, which is what I'm after here. Very hard to do sometimes because the car was understeer. You just saw a little bit of understeer, but then it came back to itself there. But we continue on out of here and we can relax towards 130R. What we're looking for 130R is on the right side. We've got the 50 board there, and this is all about lifting. So all I'm going to do is lift and turn in. So you can actually abuse a little bit of track limits on the inside, so you can use a bit of the grass as well. I aim normally for 150. It's very hard to get 150 in the Lambo, so 148, I think I do it here. But lift off there. Notice I'm trying to bounce the throttle, 148, and then we can use the curb on the exit. Just be careful about running too wide there at 130R. The final corner, the chicane here, the yellow line there as it starts to appear, the old pit lane there, that's what I use as a brake marker. You see I'm going on the brakes right now just before it gets to the edge of my screen. It's not as obvious, and some people do hate that marker. I love it. I use it in every single game I play here in terms of when I race at Suzuka. And as I go into here, I short shift to second gear. That's just to bounce the car and exit because it will suffer a little bit of weight transfer hitting the curbs. Keep to the inside then to maximize your lap. I'm going to head towards line then. That's a 158.4. It was rank 1 at the time, but we're in the 57s now. I may jump on it. I may not. I'm not too sure. Let's jump to Daily Race C then, where, yes, we're in a Honda RA272 on the brand new circuit that came to Gran Turismo, Eiger Nordwand. We've not done a daily race here yet. This is the first one of asking. What exactly are we doing here then? It's 7 laps. It's a rolling start, comfort soft tyres, ×1 fuel and ×4 tyre wear, and you can adjust the brake balance. You may notice at the top, reward plus 600%. This is because this is the World Series event as well in terms of what they're doing at the live event. So they're wanting you to use this, so get the 600% reward. In terms of the key stats for Daily Race C, just be careful of hairpins. It does understeer and oversteer this car, so you really have to bounce the car very nicely. which does suit my driving style, that I have to say. But yeah, that's what we're doing here at Eiger Nordwand. No real stats there to show you. So what we will do, we'll jump into the race and let's have a look exactly what happens. I say, it suits my driving style, so hopefully it goes well. Right, the final race, and there's only 12 races in this one. I forgot to mention that. So it's like they've taken a Daily Race A setup and then just put it on Daily Race C. Now look at this. This is a good rolling start, actually. I really like the fact they've thought about this. Everybody starts before the last corner. So this is actually a really well-placed rolling start. So fair play to Gran Turismo on that one. I always complain about rolling starts, but where they're good, I will mention they are good. And this one, in this situation, is very good indeed. Now, we got the inside of, I think that's in the inside of Marto, didn't we, towards the last corner there. We already made moves here. Heading in towards turn 1, I was very scared about people crashing. Actually, it wasn't too bad of a turn 1 because you can understeer very easily. Going to the left-hander there. Somebody hit Shelty into everybody else. I think that was... No, it wasn't actually. Shelty was on the outside. I have no idea what's going on right now. Everybody's absolutely everywhere here as we go into the right-hander. Look at the radar, man. There's arrows everywhere here. So we're on the sort of outside here. Just got to be careful as we go into the left-hander. We're just trying to slow it down here as we continue on through. Shelty's just ahead of me there. Max Power is on my inside there. Gets on the inside, looking to make the move here as we head up towards his right-hander. Now, I knew everybody was going to go on the outside line here. So I sort of wanted to get on the inside line just because you understeer that way anyway. So I got on the inside here. Managed to get it done just here. Shelty did notice me. Oh, hello. Please don't crash me. Has gone there as we continue on out of that corner then. Up into P6. Actually going to be up into P5 here. So we head towards the fast right. Very hard to get this move done up into this corner. And we do get it stopped there. Beautiful stuff then as we continue on through the left-hander. And we're going to head up towards the final corner. We've got Fred up ahead. We see Fred quite often now in these weekly race guys. We've got somebody with a penalty. Oh, we just got hit from the rear there by Standing Hot Boy. But looks like they're waiting up for me there. So they must have misjudged the braking. Appreciate the fact that you did wait up there. We'll double check it in the bloopers, of course. Now, Fred's just gone down the inside. Hodgson looks like he went a bit deep potentially. Now, they're bouncing off each other like crazy here. So I managed to get on the inside of, well, outside of Hodgson, inside of Fred there. I think Fred's giving up that position actually to give back to Hodgson. Again, a good sportsmanship. We'll double check it, of course, in the bloopers, which is coming up as we go into the right-hander. The Metal 8 Racer, you're next on my list. And you can see here, we've absolutely gone through the entire field here now. We're up into P3 already. We're only on lap 2 as we go into the right-hander. Can we get it done? Look at that on the inside. I'm just judging where people are going to go here. And we do get it stopped. We do get it turned. And we're going to head towards the line. We're in P2 right now. Max Power's coming very quickly behind, though. Nowhere to go for Max Power. Stay towards the inside then as we go towards the braking zone. We're looking to slow it down here. Do we get it stopped? We do indeed. Max Power looking to get the move around the outside here. Going to be on the inside for the left, so could get it done here. Look how close this racing is. It's tight. It's very tight indeed. We accelerate out that corner still side by side. We head towards the right-hander then. Do we get it stopped? We do indeed as we go into here. And we do get the job done. Wow, brilliant racing over Max Power. It really was fun, that one. I did enjoy that as well as we continue on through here. GTR's got a big old gap here, 3 seconds, but I quickly catch up to GTR. That's like I'm flying here right now as we go into the right-hander. GTR goes a bit defensive then into the right. Going to continue on through here. Here we go then. The fight for the lead is on. You don't see me win too many races, so they always start at the back. But here we go. Heading in towards the first turn then. And I was looking around the outside, but I misjudged it a little bit. Managed to bring it back though on braking. I have no idea how I managed to recover that one. That's pretty sketchy indeed. In towards the left we go. Art goes a little bit deep here. Now, I just get on the inside. I know how to do this corner now. We'll explain it in the lap guide as we continue on out of there. Going to be on the outside of Art now. Can we get this job done there? We're well ahead at this moment in time. Unfortunately, Art's going to understeer into us, which puts us in the barrier then. And we managed to recover it nicely here. Art gives me space on the exit. I give Art some space as well. And Max Power going to benefit here. Looking on the inside of GT Arc now. Remember what I did on lap 1? I could suspect that this was going to happen here. So I decided to hold back here. Try and get on the inside. And there we go. Jobs are good. And up into P1 we go. We've got a bit of damage though, so we do have to be a little bit careful on exit. But we're into P1. We're going to accelerate through. There we go. And what we're actually going to do, believe it or not, is advance towards the last lap because I just keep accelerating away and I keep trying to get faster laps here as we go into the right, then the left. We're just bouncing this nicely. This car suits me. Now, I've not started the Honda Challenge attack yet. I will be starting that this week, folks, for those wondering, because I did say I'm going to try hard it, bring back the old esports Tidge for Gran Turismo just for that one event. So do expect to see my time improve over the week. We cross line there, 13-0 fastest lap, and yeah, dominant victory in my opinion. Now, in terms of this race, I actually quite like this race. Start type has been thought about, well done. Car and tyre choice 0.5 because it is a bit iffy. You can have some good racing. There are no penalty issues, and the race length and randomness, it probably could do with being a bit longer if I'm brutally honest with you. So it got an overall 8. Now, heading in towards turn number 1 there, you see the square here, the darker square. The end of that square is my brake marker. If you didn't notice, by the way, the brake balance was on the right-hand side. Rewind the video 10 seconds and you will see that. I also put it in the description again now as well. As we go into here then, the end of that square, we're hard on the brake, second gear then, as we go into the right-hander. Now, I want to accelerate quickly, but then instantly come off the throttle because you need to do this next corner tight. So on the right side, you got the end of the curbing. Make sure you're braking or off throttle literally at the end of that. Now, you want to keep it nice and tight. And you're actually halfway through this corner. Don't want to be doing anything, believe it or not. So as we go into here, we brake, we brake, we brake. Now, let the car roll, get it turned, then start to accelerate. If you do braking or accelerating through there, you'll understeer. That's why you lift off and just let it do its thing. On the left-hand side there, you got a Marshall stood on the wooden thing over on the left-hand side. That is your brake marker. Stay in second gear down the hill, but that is your brake marker. Okay, so you're going to brake in a straight line, and then once again, turn in. Now, you might want to trail brake a little bit here to try and get rotation. It doesn't always happen, but that's what I try to do there. And literally let the car roll a little bit, start to accelerate a little bit, but then that Marshall on the left-hand side, we're going to call him Bruce. Brucey on the left-hand side, okay. That is your brake marker for this left-hander, but you're going to brake and go up a gear, which is unusual, but that's what you want to do here. You want to go up a gear through this corner to get a nice exit. I find that if you stay in second gear, you're going to get a whole load of oversteer. So there we go. We go up to third gear. We accelerate out, nice and easy, no stability issues whatsoever, and we can head then towards the split. So we keep towards the left-hand side, and what we're looking for here is that pit sign there. Now, I only know where it is based on the fact where the Marshalls. There's a number of these pit signs, but it's the one just before the Marshalls. That's my brake marker, and I aim in towards the corner, okay? So I'm braking aggressively. I'm going to understeer out wide to bring the car back. That's how you do this. Notice that I'm coming into the corner. I understeer out wide, don't hit the barrier. I come back, and what I'm looking for here is the entrance to the car park there. That is your accelerating marker. You need to start accelerating very quickly when you see that because your car will make it around the corner. Staying in third gear gives it some stability as well because literally the rear wheels get a little bit planted. Third gear's not at the top end of the power band either, so it just settles the car nicely. You'll see me lift a little bit there just because I was a bit cautious. Didn't have to do that in reality. Now as I get towards the top end of the power band, that's where it gets a bit sketchy, and that's where you do have to be careful. Continuing on over here on the left-hand side then, we've got the top of the wall there, where the tunnel sort of starts. You can use that, or you can use the compression here at the bottom of the hill. I'm braking before that. I want to brake before that. This car understeers, so I'm brake, and then I'm going to chuck it into this corner. Okay, let the car roll a little bit if you are struggling here, and that's what I then do there. Let it roll, and then it's stable. It's towards the left, slight lift for this left-hander, and then accelerate all the way towards the final corner. What we're looking for is the same brake marker in the Subaru Impreza time trial, and that's on the left-hand side there. You got that bollard. It's a perfect brake marker. Brake in a straight line. Do not turn on this corner. So many people try and turn and follow the course. Don't do that. Literally brake in a straight line all the way, and then you'll start to release the brakes and head out. You're doing this in a V-shaped fashion. Notice how I start to release the brakes. I go out to bring it back. That's the old school way of doing it as well. It's what this track was originally designed for. We continue through that corner, and that's a 112.5. That's it in terms of a lap guide. It's now time for the bloopers. So here we are with Daily Race A, then the Subaru Impreza. In towards the left we go, and yeah, it's just a slight tag there. They tried to get the move done. Unfortunately, the ping pong physics it just caused me to crash there. So it is what it is with that one. What happened to the Porsche? They're in VR then, based on their nickname. As we go to the left-hander, slight tap from the Lamborghini behind. Oh, a bit of wheel spin, then a tag as well on top of that. Just forced them into the barrier, and it was a big old stop there as well. Right, what's next up in the bloopers? Oh, Max Power's attempt at the 3 wide. Now, did Max Power have to give the positions back? Going through here, it's definitely 3 wide, and I think I would say Hodgson was just coming over a little bit. Maybe didn't realize I was still there potentially. But I don't feel Max Power had to give that back. It's not on Hodgson either, because you don't expect someone to go down the middle either. So, yeah, I don't feel like you had to give that back, to be honest with you. Now, Handress was the cause of the... Oh, actually, no. Potentially not. Did outbrake themselves a little bit. Marto went a bit wide as well, which was the issue with that one. The Belgian with no names. This was Sean, actually, going into here then. Just outbroke themselves. Comes back on very sensibly indeed as well. Good sportsmanship shown there. And then it's going to continue on in that AMG. So, Daily Race C, here we go. We're on board the Italian then. So, they're going to accelerate here. And then they're just going to get the braking all wrong. And they fire everybody into everybody else. Shelton was actually on the outside there. Look at this. 4 wide on the exit. I do like this race. I do like the feel of this race. I think it's awesome. I am going to do this a couple more times this week, that is for sure. In towards the right we go. Look at Max Power and Shelty. 3 wide with myself then as we go into the left-hander. Everyone's trying to keep it nice and clean. Very hard to do, but even so, I think that was perfect racing, to be honest with you, as we jump a bit later on. So this is the outbraking of the Finnish driver. Just the tiniest of outbraking. You can see it was just a mistake there. And again, they just waited to let me go. Unfortunately, they did lose their position to Max Power. Here's Fred then. Fred sends it down the inside. I'd argue, Fred, you didn't really have to give this position back, to be honest with you, because you're just catching the car there, in my opinion. I don't feel you had to give it back, but brilliant sportsmanship all the same to give it back there, as I took full advantage of that and gained both positions. Got on board Arc then, which was the final incident, I believe, in Daily Race C, as we go into the right-hander. As we go through here. So Art's just trying to accelerate to stop the understeer, really. He's trying to get rotation with accelerating. Forces me into the barrier, unfortunately. I do give him on the exit. Just a mistake there from GT Arc. That's not purposeful in the slightest. Max Power gets the run, though, on the inside here as we go in towards the right. So Max Power there just defending that nicely. And I go, yoink! Stolen! As we take that position. Unfortunately, folks, that's going to be it for this weekly race guide. I do hope you have enjoyed it. For me, it's a very good week this week. 2 videos there to check out. As always, do check out GT Mega down below. Use code Tidgney at checkout for that discount as well. Thank you as always for watching, and I do hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.